Alright, hello and welcome to Shadowrun Rebuilt. This is my website and it is to help you learn to use the Shadowrun Returns editor. First things first, let's open a content pack where all of your assets, story data, scene contents, everything is stored inside a content pack. And that's where we're going to start building from. So we're going to open the content pack. Currently I have the core content pack open and it seems to be mostly empty. So I will open the Seattle one and I got my first error. Boom. Open. And it's actually stripped down. You won't see this item. I created this item when I was messing around with it earlier and I cannot delete it. Anyway, so let's look at a sample map. If you saw the gameplay demo of Shadowrun Returns, you'll recognize this map as the secret lab that they enter. So I'm not really spoiling anything, it's just a side mission. It's got no major bearing on the Shadowrun Returns campaign. But you also notice that all of the story has been stripped from this. This is just a map of the secret lab, no player characters, no NPCs or enemies or bad guys or anything like that. Alright, so let's go over what we have. We have these two maps, downtown Seattle and the secret lab, which we have loaded. And we can make quest items. I don't know what quest items do or how to use them yet, but you can just click a new quest item, give it a name, a UI name, and a description with credentials, and you'll get a new quest item. We'll go up here. You can also create a new conversation. This is pretty interesting. Let's look real quick at this. So you have the root and end dialogue. You probably want to do more than just nothing. So you can click up here, add a different path to the end dialogue. You can name your conversation. And then you can put dialogue down here. So hello. Now you've got a conversation with different paths. And so on and so forth. I don't really know how to use this yet. We'll figure that out in another example, but this is just some a quick overview of the conversation editor. Another thing you can do is conditions and actions. Alright, so you've got these two different links, hello and end dialogue. Let's go to end dialogue. When this action is chosen, no effect, let's change that. We right click on it and we go to system, waypoint dialogue, AI. Order actor to seek and destroy team. So if you choose end dialogue, instead of saying hello to your viewers, hello viewers, the player character 0 will search and destroy all Shadowrunners. Interesting. Alright, so that's the conversation editor. We're not going to do anything with that. Alright, the asset library. It is quite extensive and fancy. Let me show you some of the fancy assets. You've got scale references for dwarves, humans, and trolls. Actor spawners, point light, which seems to be the only light source they've used on this map, point light, but I'm sure there are other types. I just haven't found them yet. Alright, so we've got a bunch of different stuff. For example, a fridge. Interesting. You can notice that it looks very hand-drawn, and you'll notice that with a lot of the assets. They look hand-drawn. They probably are. Alright. You can also double-click and get some more information about the property of the asset, and it's the property editor, so you can change some stuff on this. I don't really know how to use any of this. We're just going to move fast. Keep going. Alright, let me show you some of the assets. We've got a bunch of different apartment-like assets, apartment buildings, assets, stuff like that. Just anything you can think of. Outside of building assets, graffiti, totems. There's a totem. Roads, sidewalks. Noodle King stall. All very beautiful, by the way. If you haven't already noticed, they are very beautiful. You'll be able to make almost anything you want in this sci-fi universe. Even tombs, apparently. And as you can see, there is just a massive amount of assets. And then we get to the bottom, and you'll see actual actors in the campaign. So this is a Lone Star level 6 captain. You can place him on the map, and he'll be a character on the map. Don't really know a lot about how that works yet, so I'm just going to keep going. Over here we have the scene data. Keeps track of your triggers, variables, tags, events, and goals. Doesn't seem to be a lot of that. Like I said, this has been stripped of the story. You'll notice that it doesn't have any actors in it, so no baddies. Doesn't have any players in it. It does have a few interactable props, so you can see this door is an interactable prop. The player can probably open and close it. And then camera region, you'll see that this area is bounded by a camera region. Alright, so that's the scene contents, and finally the properties of whatever you're looking at over here in the scene contents or on the map, and you'll see the detail of whatever it is you've got. Alright, so on the actual map you'll see stuff like Steam effects or props and point lights. A bunch of different stuff. Apparently you can't get into this room because this door is not an interactable object. We've got some ley lines. Interesting. Some interesting props. Alright, so there you go. Very, very, very basic overview of what you've got in here. You have the ability to test your scene, edit an active prop, and go to the wiki for help. And that's probably what I'm going to do. So, thank you for watching this brief overview. I'm going to go learn more and hopefully post a beginner's tutorial very soon. I don't know if you've noticed, but this is a fairly complex editor, so please be patient while I learn, and I will pass my information on to you as soon as I can. Thank you for your time.